EFR, Emerson Film Radio, a sonic homage to the visual medium. This week, our artist of choice is Ganja Sufi. Sumac X comes from a diverse background, born of a Mexican mother and Ethiopian father in San Diego, California. X experienced firsthand a clashing of cultures. He found hobbies in acting, yoga instructing, and disc jockeying at a young age, but his true passion sprouted from music. Adopting the stage name of Ganja Sufi, X began to dabble in the hip-hop scene of San Diego. His lo-fi and scraggly sound that formed from a diverse household and musical taste appealed to a number of big-name producers. Ganja Sufi got his big break on a collaboration with American hip-hop producer Gas Lamp Killer with their 2010 album A Sufi and a Killer. He also managed to grab the production talents of highly respected and innovative beatmaker Flying Lotus. He even managed to make an appearance on Jay-Z's most recent album, Magna Carta Holy Grail. Ganja Sufi is certainly an under-the-radar experimental hip-hop musician, but he has gained the backing of some of the biggest names in hip-hop's past and present. He is certainly a name to watch. You can purchase Ganja Sufi's music on his website, sufisays.com. That's SUFISAYS.com, as well as his label Warp Records website. I'm your host, Connor Boyd. Today, I am joined by my co-host, George Menard.
Good evening.
And the always Grant Olens.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
Doing well.
We are broadcasting live from WECB right now. What you just heard were two songs. Ancestors by Ganja Sufi and Duet by Ganja Sufi. Two very cool songs. Guys, let's talk about some films we watched recently. I realize we neglected to talk about a very important film that we saw at the Lowe's Theater here in Boston. A film by the name of Ride Along. We haven't talked about this cinematic experience, shall we?
Yeah.
George, give us some backstory as to what we're talking about.
I think you should do that honor.
Ice Cube, master of the craft.
Master of a craft. I don't know which craft that is, but he's definitely a master of a craft. So a bunch of little plastic slips were put under our dorm room doors, inviting us to go see this film with Kevin Hart and Ice Cube called Ride Along.
Which is not out till January in a wide release.
Right.
Yeah.
There's actually only like 2 trailers for it now. There's not even like it's pretty under the radar. IMDb it if you're uninformed. But so we went to go see this film, not because we wanted to see the film,
no,
but because, and I posted this on my Twitter at Connorboy Films. Shout out. It was a Vine. Ice Cube was there.
Yeah, he was going to make an appearance and do a Q&A with the producer of the film.
Q&A, we mistook for a Q&A, was actually 6 questions, half of them compliments. So not the peak experience that we were hoping for, but needless to say, we saw this 90-minute film. And I don't know, I thought it was really likable, had a lot of heart.
Had a lot of Kevin Hart.
Wow.
I
knew someone was going to... I set it up and you spiked it. I knew someone was going to grab that pun, but... yeah.
Movie was cold, like an ice cube.
Oh, my dad mistook Ice Cube for Ice Tea.
Everyone's been doing that to me. I've been telling people I saw Ice Cube.
No. Ice Tea gets ice cubes put into it to keep it cool, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Not a coincidence, but it's basically about... What's it about? It's about Kevin Hart wants to marry this gorgeous lady.
Yeah.
But she has a mean brother who's a cop. And
yeah, he Ice Cube plays like a
protective
a detective who kind of plays by his own rules and go by, So it doesn't work, he's kind of like...
He plays Ice Cube.
Kind of a rogue cop.
A bit of a rogue, yes.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any... before Kevin Hart, he's a lone ranger, so to speak.
Okay,
he doesn't have any partners.
Yeah, it's kind of bizarre to talk about this movie and try to explain it.
It's really simple. It really is. He has to go on this ride along, which is, what you do when you go with a cop because you want to see what they're doing. So he has to you got to go on a ride along. He's got to impress.
Yeah, he's got to impress Ice Cube by going on a ride along.
It's his very first thing he doesn't take a single police class or anything like that.
No. He gets into the police academy, but
he just hangs out with Ice Cube the whole day.
Yeah. And
it's pretty dreadful.
He has no concept of what's...
It's pretty bad.
Can we talk about the opening of this film, though?
What is the... I don't remember.
The opening is Ice Cube sitting at a table getting interrogated by just European guys.
That was probably
non-specific.
That was probably the best part of the movie. Everything else was just downhill.
I mean, it's like saying it's the least smelly pile of laundry in a huge basket of laundry.
Right.
It's like they all smell.
Yeah.
But he still had that cool...
I mean, not to be that harsh, but...
He still had that cool line when he was trying to chase the guy and the Prius came.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Like, yeah.
What is this, a Prius? Get this out of here! Yeah, it was awesome.
And then
he's like, now I got my Dodge pickup truck. That movie is sponsored by Dodge through and through.
Oh, is it? I mean,
I don't know officially, but every single car they drove, I don't know if you noticed, was a Dodge car.
Yeah.
Right.
Including the truck he drove in the beginning.
Right.
The Challenger he drove in the movie. Everything was Dodge.
It probably had
Dodge.
just as much, if not more, product placement than any of Ice Cube's.
Oh my god, yeah.
So much product placement. And another thing I really want to mention is, so it opens up.
Let's talk about more about. Let's not maybe bother talking about the film because honestly, like, it's not even worth talking about. I think we should talk about more like the experience of watching it.
It's
like
really bad. Okay,
it's like
George dropping some truth.
We could just
mad truth.
Like
okay. Are you talking about how we got to the film and all that?
Like we should just kind of like.
All right.
If we're gonna talk about, we should be talking about like a wink and a nod and like tongue in cheek. You know what I'm saying? Like we shouldn't be like, well, you see the.
I don't know
character development.
I don't know about you, but I wasn't necessarily being entirely critical of this film.
I know, but I'm just like let's not get entirely critical.
Okay. I won't.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just.
No, I know. Guys, it's not that complicated. It's really not even really worth mentioning. It's a C movie. It's not really worth your time. We went there. The producer and Ice Cube were there. They told us, if you like the film, spread the word, tell everyone about it. And if you don't like the film, shut the H up. And I'm like, all right, but I'm now in front of a radio mic telling all of you, do not see this film. It's not worth your time. It would be sad if you spent any money on this film.
Yeah, it's coming out in January, and that's like the dumping grounds for Hollywood.
Oh yeah, January is a horrible time.
Yeah, for movies.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing that Odds Great and Powerful made as much money as it did.
I didn't see that one
because that came out really early in 2013.
Right. Yeah, and like I saw, we get a lot of in Emerson. We do get a lot of like preview screens, which is great. I love getting to see a movie early. Yeah, but you're taking a gamble on a movie.
Do you guys want to talk about? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, because I just saw. Is a promotional thing at Emerson a lot like this week where it was like there was a new movie with Mark Wahlberg out. It was called Lone Survivor.
I was wondering if you guys wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, and it was like a war. It was like a war movie with Mark Wahlberg, and it was like I think it's coming out in January too, and it's like it was the same thing.
Emerson loves to give us January movies.
Yeah, I know.
They love to pre-screen January movies because we're not good enough for fall movies.
Well, I saw Inside Llewyn Davis, which comes out in December.
That's so, okay. Yeah,
you got to get the ones that the pamphlets aren't always the best ones. You got to dig a little.
Got to dig.
Yeah, to get the good stuff. But and
theoretically, big news: Anchorman will be shown here as well, which is very exciting.
Anchorman 2.
Ron Burgundy is coming.
Anchorman.
Ron Burgundy is in fact coming to Emerson.
But you're talking about Anchorman 2 is going to be shown.
Anchorman 2.
Oh, all right, that's it.
Yeah, I said Anchorman. My bad. My bad.
My bad.
Yeah, so have you guys seen any, actually, let's skip all the bad films.
Well, I mean, I just saw, in the past hour, I saw Old Boy for the first time.
Right, you did. So you liked that.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah, how about that scene, the very famous scene where it's the wide shot and there's like 28 dudes?
Oh, yeah, it's that one dolly shot.
Have you seen it, Grant?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh.
You said you saw the last half hour? Or did you see the whole thing?
I saw the whole movie.
Okay.
I walked in and Maxwell was starting watching. I'm like, oh, can I watch a few? And like, can we wind like 5 minutes? And he was like, all right. So like, yeah. I watched the whole movie and I was like, I didn't know what to expect going into it. It's one of those movies where like it's like one of those. It's a pretty popular film. Like, I think it's kind of like
for how like foreign it is.
Yeah,
it's gotten pretty much.
You know,
it's got a good American attention.
Yeah, a lot of people like it. A lot of people have seen it.
The thing I don't like about that guy, because I've seen parts of his films.
Chan-wook Park?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably butchering that.
Because there's like the Vengeance trilogy, right?
Right. It's like the second one in the trilogy.
And the two other ones. And the parts I've seen, it seems like he's trying too hard to be ironic. Like he mixes violence with a lot of like lighthearted things, and he makes it. I just think
you think he's obviously trying to get that whole dark humor thing across?
No, it's not even dark humor. It's like a Clockwork Orange type stuff where
it's like there's like some kind of social commentary. You're saying?
No.
I know what he means. It's like having a rape scene with lighthearted music, like that kind of thing,
or like
that kind of dramatic irony,
like Natural Born Killers.
Let me just try and explain.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's not just guess what he's trying to say.
That would be better. And
2 syllables.
2 syllables. You want me to explain 2 syllables?
No, I was just saying charades.
Okay, well, so an example would be he show like a gory murder scene, and then he'll cut right to some random sign that says "laugh and the world will laugh with you" or something like that.
Huh.
Like something lighthearted and
okay.
And then other things will be like, there'll be like a show an apartment building, a wide static shot of an apartment building, and there'll be someone lying on the floor with blood dripping out of their head, and like the TV is playing, and it's like Barney or something. You know what I mean?
Huh. I honestly, are you talking about Old Boy or other films?
Old Boy and his other films.
Because I did not get that in Old Boy.
I did not come across. I didn't really feel that as much.
That's probably just me.
Well, I saw 5 minutes of it, and I saw like 2 things that were like that. So maybe I just got to point them out.
But you've seen the whole thing, right?
No, I have not seen the whole thing.
Of Old Boy?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I just think just the parts.
George.
No, I just thought of the quote from The Big Lebowski. It's like, so you have no frame of reference. You're like a child that wanders in the middle of a movie and asks what's going on.
Yeah. No, I think.
I'm not passing judgment.
You've seen other films by this director, though.
Let me just. Can I get a word out?
Have you seen other films by this director? I want to know.
No, I just said I've only seen.
You can't make any judgment. You just saw 5 minutes and you saw 2 things that you thought were cliche or something?
I'm not making judgment on the whole film. I said before I explained that the parts that I've seen are ... And
interesting.
And it turns me off. It kind of makes me.
Well, maybe you should see the whole film before you make a judgment like that. I'm just saying. You haven't seen any of these films? Have you seen it?
I'm not saying I'm not going to see them.
Oh, you're just saying that
I get a bad impression because of the parts that I have seen.
Was it the first 5 minutes, or are you saying it was just a random 5-minute part?
It was a random part. I walked into the movie.
I didn't sense that. Maybe it was like the perfect, like, geometrical
Old Boy
part
has some weird parts in it, but I think it's mostly, like, dramatic and dark. He doesn't really veer off in any kind of, like, irony.
Just that part, he's just a little pretentious, that's all.
In a part, I guess.
I think he's trying too hard to, like, find his way. He's trying too hard to be an auteur.
I'm amazed that you can make all these assumptions based off a 5-minute viewing of the film. That's fine. I'll have to rewatch it because I just didn't sense that. But I do know I hate when directors do that, though, because I hate Natural Born Killers.
Yeah,
because of that whole trying really hard to show the juxtaposition.
That's what it was like, but it was.
But it was like enough.
I remember there was a shot. There was a sequence of shots where it was basically just someone going somewhere, going from one place to another, and there were like 3 insert shots that were like perfect composition, had nothing to do with the story, but they were like cool compositions, like people walking upstairs, and it was like framed by this door, and it was like this really cool like silhouette composition. He like held it for a really long time as if it was really important, and then he like cut to something else, which is like really.
I'm just gonna have to look this up.
You know what I mean?
You're gonna have to show me because I honestly I don't know. Anyways,
well,
let's talk about the film though. For someone who's seen
I thought it was.
No, it's okay. Just
I enjoyed it quite a bit. I mean, I don't really know what to expect from it because I've heard things about it. I just knew it was about a guy that's been kidnapped and held in captivity for 15 years. Then he's let out and wants revenge. I didn't know anything beyond that, and it went in a lot of interesting places to me. I thought it was like I I think maybe like the second time I watch it, I'll get more into it because there's a lot of things towards the end that kind of like are revealed that like about his past and about he meets a girl at a sushi bar and like they kind of strike up a relationship and you learn things about her like towards the end of the film that kind of are major like
the
reveals.
Reason he's been in prison.
Yeah, and
like
it's like all that stuff is kind of revealed towards the end, and it's like kind of makes you want to go back and see what things you can pick up on afterwards.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely a layered film. Yeah. It's definitely a film with.
But I don't know. I know there's a remake coming out. Spike Lee remake's coming out soon.
With Josh Brolin.
I don't know how it's gonna work. I just watching this movie now. I'm like, I don't really see. I'm really curious to see how they do it. But
I think that's kind of when you know that American cinema's going down is when it starts to copy like other.
Well, that's been going on for years, though.
Yeah, they do that for a while, and it's like
really.
Yeah, the bird cages. We were watching the bird cage the other night, and like I was saying, like this is a remake of a French film.
Really?
Yeah.
And